It's a wild question. How does a drone, something built to save lives during a flood, end up becoming a tool for the modern battlefield? Well, that's the incredible journey we're jumping into today. It's a story that kicks off with a humanitarian crisis and lands right in the middle of advanced military strategy.
Okay, so picture this. You're high above some really rough, rugged terrain. And suddenly, an alert blares out. Something's in the airspace that shouldn't be. It's not a jet, not a helicopter, it's a drone. And in this training exercise, it's the bad guy.
Yeah, this is a whole new kind of dogfight. Forget what you've seen in old war movies. We're talking about a military drill built for right now, for the 21st century.
So, the target, it's what they call a hostile UAV. Basically, a drone that's playing the part of an enemy threat in this exercise. And the clock is ticking, right? So the response has to be super fast, but also incredibly precise.
Immediately, a friendly interceptor drone scrambles into the air, and it's following a very strict playbook. First step, detect. It's got to find the target. Then it has to identify it as hostile. Once it gets that confirmation, bam, it starts to track its every single move. And the final step, pursue. It's this high-stakes, controlled chase, all designed to test just how ready the Army really is.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This whole drill, it's not actually being run by the Army itself. Nope, it's being conducted by a private company, Skyroo Drones. They're the ones officially contracted to get the Indian Army up to speed on counter-drone tactics. Just let that sink in for a second. A private company is training one of the biggest armies on the planet. I mean, that's huge. So you've got to ask yourself, who is the mind behind this advanced technology?
Well, the answer is probably not who you're picturing. So let's pull back the curtain and meet the innovator behind the machine. They call him the Drone Boy of Kashmir.
This is Aban Habib. And yeah, he's widely known as the Drone Boy of Kashmir. It's a nickname that sounds more like a character from a storybook than a defense contractor, right? And for good reason. His journey didn't start with military tech at all. It began with a mission to save lives. So how on earth does a young innovator go from that to becoming a key military strategist? Well, to figure that out, we need to rewind. We've got to go all the way back to the beginning, to a vision that was literally born from floods. So the whole thing kicks off in 2014, when these absolutely devastating floods swept through Kashmir. Aban saw all that destruction and just felt like he had to do something. So by early 2015, he designed his very first drone. But here's the thing, it wasn't for surveillance, it was for disaster relief. And his idea was so good, it quickly got traction, earning him support from the National Institute of Technology in Srinagar to really bring it to life. I mean, his original mission was basically to create a flying ambulance. Seriously, these drones were designed to deliver medicine and first aid kits, drop life jackets to people trapped by floodwaters, and even transport blood to remote areas. They even had a panic button that was linked to an app for emergency response. This was technology built for one reason, and one reason only: to help people. But somewhere along the way, that mission evolved a lot. So let's get into how this young innovator became a key defense strategist.
And when you put them side by side, the transformation is just stark. The focus shifted from civilian aid to modern warfare. That life-saving panic button was replaced by high-altitude surveillance capabilities. And the goal of delivering medicine, that evolved into training soldiers for the battlefield. It's a remarkable pivot, and it just goes to show you how the same core technology can serve two completely different worlds.
And get this is not some hands-off contract where he just sells the tech and walks away. Today, Ivan Habib is right there on the ground in the high-altitude region of Ladakh. He's not just a vendor. He's personally out there training Indian Army soldiers, working as a strategic partner to make this tech a core part of their defense operations. So what's the bigger picture here? Let's zoom out a bit and explore the national impact of this kind of homegrown technology and what it really means for securing tomorrow's skies. To put his success into really concrete terms, here's a number for you: 25. That's how many drones the Indian Army has already bought from his company. And we're not talking about a prototype or some test case. This is real, deployed technology that's shaping battlefield readiness right now. You know, Avan's story isn't just a one-off. It's a perfect example of a much larger strategic shift. It really highlights the Indian Army's growing emphasis on building up its capabilities with homegrown, indigenous systems. By relying on innovators like Aban, the nation strengthens its security from the inside out.
And that really leaves us with a powerful final thought. Abban Habib's journey from designing a rescue drone to a military training platform is just an incredible path. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other humanitarian technologies that are being developed today might just become the cornerstones of national security tomorrow?